Welcome back to part 2 of how to make a round-based shooter game on Roblox. Today we're going to be looking at how to teleport the players to a random spawn location on a selected map. We're also going to be learning about how to assign a random weapon to a player. And then after that we're going to start managing our round to see who is alive and who is dead. Let's get right into it. Okay, so a quick refresher. If you've watched my part 1, which I seriously hope that you have, if you haven't, I'll leave a card to it up in the top right now. Go watch it and then come back for part 2. But as you can see so far, we've got our round and our GUI, and it's displaying what map we have, and it's also loading the map into the game. If you've watched the first part and you've seen how we made our maps, we have a grass map here. We just have one map for now, just so it's just for the sake of the video. And in here we have a folder called spawn locations, and in here we have a select. These are just parts. These are just blocks that we're using as spawn locations, but for the time being just close that folder up. So let's start with a variable of all the available spawns that we have. So let's do local, let's do available spawns is equal to, let's do map clone. We're getting the map clone, not maps, not random map, do map clone. We want map clone, come on, find first child, and we're going to get spawn, and the folder was called spawn locations. Let's do spawn locations, and we will do colon get children. So now we have a table of all of these spawn parts. All right, so this variable is all of these spawn parts that we have available. Okay. So now we should loop through the players table. So let's just do for, let's do I comma player, and here's, we will do players table. Let's do if player and workspace player dot name. So we're checking if the player's character exists under the workspace, so we actually have something to teleport. Then we will do, let's do a local humanoid root part. Okay, so this is the part that we're going to be teleporting to the spawn, so that the player can be teleported to the map. So let's do local humanoid root part equals workspace player dot name. So we're getting the player's character. Colon find first child, and we want humanoid root part. Okay, so now we have the player's humanoid root part, so we can move them around wherever they need to be. Let's do if humanoid root part, then we will do humanoid root part dot c frame is equal to available spawns, and we're going to get the position of 1, and we're just going to do dot c frame plus vector 3, so we're putting them just above the map just in case we don't want them to spawn inside the map. We'll do dot new parentheses, and let's just do 0, let's do 0, 3, 0, just to put them just above the spawn. Okay, and we'll also do, we also need to take the we also want to make sure that the player doesn't spawn, two different players spawn at the same position. So let's just quickly get rid of the, let's quickly get rid of that place in the table. So let's do table dot remove, and we will just do available spawns, and we'll do comma 1. So now the player is the only person that can spawn at that particular place on the map. Right, let's quickly do an else statement just in case the player's humanoid does not exist. We'll just print, actually no, let's warn to the output so we can see. Let's do player dot name dot root part. So yeah, this is going to basically just carry this error just in case. This is just in case that the first if fails, if there's no humanoid root part found in the workspace. So yeah, so let's test out if that works. Alright, so loading into the game here as our round is counting down, and as we're loading into the round here, what should happen is in the workspace the map will be cloned, right over there. The map has been cloned, and we have been teleported to a random location, or well, the first location of the map. So now we can assign a random. Now we can assign a random gun to the player, and then we can start managing the round. Under the table.remove available spawns, 1 section, I'm going to drop down here just to this bottom line, and we're going to create a new tag that's going to go inside the player's character. So that we can check if the player has is still alive or if they are dead. So let's just do that really quick. We're going to be using the instance.new function. So let's do local. Let's do is alive equals instance.new, and with parentheses and brackets we're going to do let's make it a bool value. It doesn't really matter as long as it's got the correct naming as I have. Let's do is alive. Let's do dot name. Okay, now this is important. Make sure you remember what it's named as. I'm just going to call mine is alive, and let's do is alive. Let's do dot parent is equal to workspace, and we'll get the index of player dot name. Now we're going to be able to use this value to check if the player is still in the round, if they are still alive. So now, if we drop down through these, there should be 3 ends there, and there should be just 1 end. We're outside, we're back into the main while true do loop up here. So let's do for I, comma, v, and actually no, let's do player and peers. And we're just going to do basically the same thing up here. We're just going to get the players table real quick. Except this time what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting a random weapon. We're going to be getting a random weapon and inserting it inside the player's character. Okay, so it's going to be within their backpack. So let's do players table do. And now we can get the weapons folder, available weapons. Local available weapons equals weapons folder colon get children. So now we're getting everything inside that folder. So if we come over here, we look inside that we've got machine gun and we've got the pistol. We'll be adding more weapons later on if you'd like. But yeah, so let's do local random weapon equals available weapons, and we'll do math dot random. We'll just do 1 comma hashtag. We'll do available weapons. So now we have a random weapon. Okay, so now we can clone that weapon and put it inside the player's character. So let's just do that. Let's do local cloned weapon equals random weapon colon clone, and we're going to set its parent dot parent equals player dot backpack. So now the player should have the weapon automatically within their backpack ready for them to fight with. As you can see, it is in the player's backpack, so now we can begin fighting with the random weapon that we've been assigned. See, the game is really starting to come together. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to manage the round a bit further. We're actually going to have the round countdown, and we're going to be checking who is alive and who isn't. So now that all the players have a random weapon, we can actually, let me just wrap that in an if statement really quick. Let's just do if player. Let's do if player then. We're just checking if the player is there. Okay, and we will just take all this, backspace, and we'll copy it all into there. We'll just do else. Let's do else print player dot name dot dot is no longer in the game, and we will do table. Let's do table dot remove, so we're taking them out of the game so they don't get their alive. They don't get like a win just for sitting in the table, because we don't want that to happen. So let's do table dot remove, and we will just do players table comma player. Now outside of this for loop, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting to manage the round, the countdown of the round, and we're going to be checking who is alive and who isn't. So let's, and then we're going to be rewarding the winner. So it's a bit of a battle royale game, I suppose. So let's come back up here to the top and let's see how many, what was it called? Round time. See, round time is a variable for how long our round lasts. Okay, so let's come back down here and let's start. I'm just going to make a note. I'm just going to call it begin the round. So the script will ignore everything that's written in this blue or whatever font you have it. If you put these two bars in front of it, it will just ignore it as text. Just like this, the script is ignoring this. Well, I mean, the script can ignore this, but I hope you guys aren't ignoring this. Let's start the countdown, okay? Let's do 4. I'm going to do I equals, and we want round time, comma 0, comma -1 do. So now it is going to be counting down. Let's do task dot wait, and we're going to be doing put 1. And we'll do main status dot value is equal to, let's just do round, and we'll just do dot dot and I. So that should be counting down for our round. So let's quickly check that. And we've been teleported over. And as you can see, the round GUI has appeared with the round time. So yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. Now we're going to be checking who is and isn't still alive and removing them from the table if they are. So dropping down a few lines from this I, we're going to be doing 4, let's do 4x, okay, comma player in pairs. So we're just going to get the remaining players table. Okay, so let's just do players table. And we will do. So now we have that players table ready to go. If player and workspace, and we'll do workspace player dot name colon find first child. And now this is where this comes this comes important. Remember the tag we made up here, the is alive. Make sure, just copy and paste that, back the exact name, back down here, because we're going to be putting it in between these parentheses. So, yep. So now we can check if the player is still alive, because if the player dies, what's going to happen is this will get destroyed, and the player will no longer have that in their character. Okay. So let's do if the player is then, we're just going to ignore them for now. Let's just do ignore them, they're still alive. Now let's do else. If this has failed and there is no longer an alive tag in there, what we need to do is to remove the player from the table so they don't get a free win, because obviously they have died in the round. So let's do print. Let's print player dot name dot dot is dead. And let's do table. Table dot remove. And let's do players table, comma, and we will do X because X is the position that the player sits. So let's do bracket parentheses like that. So now if we load into the game, with our output open, as the map loads in, as you can see, Jack Smith is still alive down the bottom here. And if we look inside, our player, we should find the is alive value. Okay, so you see this little tag that says is alive. I'll zoom in on that for you. There, yeah, that is what it is checking for. So if we reset and you look in my character, it's going to be reset. The is alive value should be destroyed. And as you can see, it has printed I am dead. See, Jack Smith _ 1000 is dead. So now it's going to remove me from the table, and I'm going to lose my place as a potential winner. So back up here where it says main status.value, I've just decided we should change round to fight. We'll just call it fight, so we sort of get a better idea of what's going on. And now we need to concatenate another value string onto the end of this. Let's do dot dot, and we will do players. Okay, so this is going to tell you how many players left are. Let's do players left. Okay, and we will do dot dot, and then we'll just do hashtag players table. We want players table. So now if we quickly load back into the game, open, yep, we've got our pistol. As you can see, there is one player left in the game. Obviously we need to check if there's one player left, so we can check if we need to reward them. And you can also see that there is countdown, the timer, the countdown. Let's quickly make the gap between these a bit bigger. Okay, so quickly I'm just going to delete the is alive, because I don't really want that flooding our output too much. Okay, so yeah, flooding our output too much, because otherwise we're not actually going to be able to see the proper messages like the warnings and the errors and things like that that we need to see if we're constantly flooded with this player is still alive. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to be checking how many players are left in the players table, and then we will be rewarding them and things like that, and then destroying the map and starting again. Oh, and also something else that I noticed from the first video, a small mistake that I made, is that, as you can see, this repeat wait task wait 1, this actually in the last video I placed it outside of the while true do loop, which is actually not very helpful, because once this condition is met, what's going to happen is it's going to end up in this loop infinitely, and we're never actually going to be able to check this every time. So once there is enough players once, even if the player leaves the game and there's only one left, it will actually continue running. So we don't want that. We're going to delete that part that's up there, and we're going to put it within the while true do loop. So now we'll always be checking if there are the correct amount of players. So now as we cut back down here to the table.remove, let's jump outside this for loop here. Okay, and so now we're currently looping through the players. So let's put an if statement. Let's do if hashtag let's do players table, okay, is equal, let's do equals 1. So this is if there is a winner. This will be this is the person that's won the round. Then else if hashtag players table, okay, is equal to 0, then if by like some absolute magic the players are dead at the same time and there's no one left, we will just say there was no winner, because we don't want to break our code, because we don't want it to see that there's nothing there and then just break and the whole game breaks. So that's not what we want. Or we can do else, because else is the only other thing that can possibly happen. We know that the timer has ticked down, so we can just say timer has ticked down, there was no winner. So now we know that there is no winner, and that the time left is currently down to 0, and we're going to start the round again. So before we can continue with this, rewarding the player, last thing we just need to put here for now is we just need to put the break, and just put break in all 3 of these, break and break. So now if we quickly test that out, what should happen as soon as the round starts, it's going to see that there's actually only one person left in the game, and it's going to immediately say that I'm the winner. You can see what happened is that it detected that there was only one person left, and it broke out of this loop. It broke out of the countdown, so the round stopped, the fighting time stopped. So what happened is it went down there, it broke because the players table was 1. So then it went break, and it started all the way up the top here again. Okay, it started right up the top, and it went through the whole process of all the code we've written so far. So now, so just quickly, we're going to be telling the status, what player has won, or we're going to be telling the people in the game what outcomes have happened. So let's do main status dot value equals Hashtag players table, and we're getting to the position of 1 because there's only one person left, as you can see. And we will do dot name dot dot is the winner of the round. Actually no, let's just do is the winner. And then we will do task dot wait 3, and then it will break. It will do task dot wait 3 seconds, and then it will break and the game will start again. Obviously there's a few more things we need to do, but that's in the next video. So let's just copy and paste this line here, and we'll put it just above the break. So if players is equal to 0, then we'll just say main status.value is equal to there was no winner this round. So now it's going to know that there was no winner in this round. It's going to wait 3 seconds, displaying that message to everyone, and then it's going to break. And now in this last one, where the timer is 0, what we're going to do is we're going to do main status.value equals the time ran out. Actually, no, let's just do times up. Let's do times up. Let's put an exclamation point on the end of all of these as well, just to make it a little less robotic. So now, if we just throw a quick task.wait under the main status of 3, and jacksmith_1000 is the winner of the round. It's going to wait 3 seconds, start a brand new round. Right, so in the next video we are going to be creating the full round system where it deletes the map and starts with a new map. We're also going to be adding some more weapons, probably some more maps, just some more functionality, a few bug fixes that I've noticed. But yeah, anyways guys, thank you guys so very much for watching this episode of How to Make a Game on Roblox. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Once part 3 is out, I'll put it up on your screen to the right. Anyways guys, thank you so very much for watching. See you next time.